80s and 90s were some of the best times for gaming, and I know this despite not even being alive at that time. Being the filthy 2000s kid that I am, I find it interesting to know what entertainment was like during this time. We all know the story of how Sonic was made to be a competitor to Super Mario, and it was a natural progression that other companies would try to make their mascots cool and edgy to appeal to the young, hip crowd of kids during the 90s. This is where Bubsy the Bobcat comes in. In wake of Sonic the Hedgehog's success, not successful enough for Mario, a slew of other characters were thrown together to appeal to this demographic. Some of these characters include Cool Spot, Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel, and of course, Bubsy the Bobcat. They weren't even exclusive to games either, with characters like Chester Cheetah, the Noid, and the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah! Most of these mascots have some pretty bad games, or at least pretty mediocre ones. But Bubsy was the exception. With its first two games being 2D side-scrolling platformers, Bubsy was pretty standard gameplay-wise and was perceived pretty well. But then, he just kind of vanished. But then... fans rejoiced when they heard that Bubsy is back on the Sony PlayStation! 3D, here I come!
From what I've read online, Bubsy 3D is regarded as one of the worst games ever made, and in an effort to join the bandwagon...
you suck!
Okay. I figured I'd check the game out for myself to see if it really is that bad. I mean, after all, a lot of games are hated a lot at first until you realize they're actually good. You know, like Wind Waker. Yeah, I'll keep telling myself that. So without further ado, let's get right into Bubsy 3D. Quick disclaimer, my local retro game store didn't have the game, nor did I want to spend money on it, so for entertainment purposes only, I will be emulating this. I do not condone emulation. I am sorry. I am filth. Let's play the game.
The game first starts off with an opening cinematic showing a strange alien planet, which for some reason reminded me of the opening scene in Toy Story 2. Then we go into a cutscene where a two-headed guy over here shows his fellow aliens that Bubsy is a wanted criminal and is considered dangerous. These poorly designed character models also describe the Queen's plans to collect all of Earth's... war balls? What are war balls? Am I supposed to get this? Because I don't. By the way, there are two queens named Polly and Esther. Does that have any significance? It's like they picked a random word out of a hat and split it up. Why even bother? They aren't even important later on. They also point out that when they went to capture Bubsy, they brought him to their own planet where he escaped. Whose idea was this? Who thought it was a bright idea to bring who is considered the most dangerous thing to the planet to their planet? Why not bring him to some other planet? For aliens that are capable of interstellar travel, they sure don't know what they're doing when it comes to common sense! Kinda like real life. Then Bubsy comes in and crashes the party.
I knew I should have taken that left turn at Uranus! Was it something I said? What could possibly go wrong?
Oh no. That's not good. Aside from the 3-minute and very contradictory cutscene, I might add, just look at Bubsy's character model. It looks like it was made for the N64, not the PlayStation. Also, any mascot who uses "what could possibly go wrong" as a catchphrase is #TooEdgyForYou. Then the game takes us to the title screen for some reason, which looks like it was made by J.J. Abrams. Oh boy, I could tell that these cat puns are going to be physically exhausting. Alright, now let's finally play the game. Time to see how bad Bubsy 3D actually is. Oh. What is this? Who was in charge of level design? Who made these textures? This looks like something a 12-year-old could make in Unity. No, scratch that. A 12-year-old could probably do better than this. Wait, did I just say scratch that? Cat pun! Someone start a cat pun counter! There we go! Can we just talk about the controls for a second? Well, too bad, this is my show. The controls are super tight and awkward. Go ahead and make whatever kind of joke you want with that usage of words. Forward moves forward, axis jump, square shoots atoms, down moves backwards at a snail's pace, and the shoulder buttons do this. But by far the worst choice in controls is that to turn, you have to turn the whole camera. Keep in mind that this is the PS1, so there were no analog sticks, so naturally, they used the left and right buttons. What? Who thought this controlled well? It's like they didn't even play the game. Maybe they didn't even play games at all. The thing that makes Mario 64 so great is how it uses the loose controls in combination with the open worlds to make the game feel like an open world. Bubsy does not do that. Bubsy 3D has super limited controls with levels that are way too big, so it feels like you're walking leisurely. When you jump, the camera changes to a top-down perspective, then goes back down to third person when you land. Oh, and Bubsy has the whole inertia thing going on, so the more you move him, the faster he goes, and because the controls suck so much, you'll end up crashing into walls and or enemies.
Now, what would the platform platform game be without platforms?
Gee, Bubsy, I don't know. Is this even a platformer? Speaking of enemies, what are these? What is that supposed to be? I feel like they were originally supposed to be bunnies or something, but whoever was in charge of the models just messed up and they passed them off as aliens. They also make weird gagging noises whenever you're near them, and it just adds to the fact that I don't even want to be playing this right now. It is impossible to find out how to kill these guys without reading something, because they were so poorly programmed. Look at this, I jump on this guy to kill him, and I take damage. I thought for the longest time that these guys were unkillable without throwing atoms. How am I supposed to know this? The game doesn't tell me anything. You'd think the question marks would tell you something, but they just cue dialogue that still doesn't help. And at least Sonic 06 got question marks, right? This is some real next-gen stuff, guys. Question mark technology. It's great.
Fish move out of the way when you get close to them.
Oh man, I gotta take a leak. Pause.
Pause. Let's talk a bit about Bubsy's dialogue, shall we? Bubsy is one of those characters who is fully aware that they're in a video game, like Deadpool or Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising. However, the thing that makes these characters cool and not Bubsy is that these characters know when to stop. Bubsy just keeps coming at you with his annoying quips whenever he speaks, and when he does speak, I challenge you to not cringe at his voice.
Bubsy smash puny wallies.
Please don't do that. Like, ever again.
It slices! It dices!
What? What are you talking about? What are we slicing? What are we dicing? Did Bubsy do as much acid as the guys who developed this game?
Guys, I think we really messed up on Bubsy 3D. Guys? Alright, they're all dead.
In case you haven't figured it out yet, this game sucks. I mean, really sucks. It is Last Airbender movie level of bad. It sucks so bad, in fact, that the enemies make vacuum noises.
I've said a lot of bad things about this game so far, but let's give this game credit where credit is due.
The level design for the first level isn't actually that bad. It's at least somewhat structured. Same thing for level 3.
Cat pun!
They have a basic level structure that doesn't confuse the player. If you notice I didn't mention level 2, well, that's because it sucks. This one level basically sums up the entire game for me. This level has no structure to it at all. You basically just run around until you find something. The death animations are actually pretty funny, and I'm not just saying that because Bubsy is dying and my life is fulfilled. They remind me of that slapstick cartoon humor of Tom and Jerry. That and Bubsy is puffing some good rings.
So that's all I really have to say about Bubsy 3D. Did I like it? No, not at all. In fact, I'd go as far to say that this is probably the worst game I've ever played, and that's really saying something. But this game does so much wrong that it just shows what aspiring game developers shouldn't do. Don't make overly large levels for the sake of having large levels. Don't have controls that confuse and challenge the player. If you're looking for a recommendation, then here you go. If you're an aspiring game developer looking to find out the do's and don'ts of game design, or if you're just someone like me who wants to make fun of and critique games, then that's really all I'd say this game is good for. The game might not be good, but hey, at least it's good roast material. Now if you excuse me, I gotta go bobcat hunting. Oh, I really hurt myself.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked this, then please leave a like, and if you disliked it, then please tell me what I could do better, because it has been quite a while since I've done a review, so I'd really appreciate any constructive criticism. And also be sure to do the Twitters and the subscrizzles and all that. See you all in the next video. Peace out.